back to my channel. It's Yasmin. Today I am 15 weeks pregnant, and the thing is that like definitely the second trimester is the easiest trimester. Like I can't really say for sure because the third trimester I've never done and I'm not in that yet, but I know that in the third trimester, from what everyone says, like you're bigger and you're heavier, you're tired, like it's kind of similar to the first trimester, and apparently everyone's like the second trimester, that's the best one. And definitely second trimester hit and my energy levels are so much different. Like I can get up in the morning, no issues. The morning sickness has kind of gone away now. I did have like a vomit yesterday, but like, I don't know, it could have just been because I ate Greek yogurt, and because I don't know, I like Greek yogurt, my baby doesn't like Greek yogurt. This particular video, I'm just going to talk to you about the NIPT test, right? And so I do know the gender of my baby. I have said that before, I do know the gender, but I'm not going to reveal to you what the gender is yet. Like I will close to the due date because I'm having like a gender thingy. I really do feel like the second trimester is like a whole lot better. Basically, I don't know, I've been finding it a lot easier. I haven't been in a desperate need for my afternoon naps. I think there was 1 or 2 days where I did have my afternoon nap, but it's not like every day I definitely had to have my afternoon nap, right? So main things that like have changed is my stomach. Like people are starting to notice the bump now. Like I've had people like I see out and they're going, oh, you know, how far along are you? And when I say, oh, like today, I said, oh, you know, I'm 15 weeks ago. Wow, you're showing so much already. And well, you know, I think a lot of it is bloating. But this week, the baby grows to the size of an avocado. Last week was a pear. So, but the uterus expands a lot. So a lot of it is amniotic fluid. Okay, so that's probably why. And also I have an anteroverted uterus. So people's uterus either is straight up and down, which is like normal, or retroverted, which means it goes towards the spine, or anteroverted, which faces forward, and mine sticks forward. So if I'm showing like before anyone else, or like, you know what I mean, then it's because my uterus tilts forward. But I don't think so, because a lot of people start showing like between weeks, you know, 12, 13, 14, like it's, you know, everyone's different. So I'm really like, you know, 15, it's kind of, I'm kind of normal now to be showing and getting a bump and everything. So that's kind of fun. But my skin, I tell you, from the second trimester, my skin has started to feel really tight, like really tight and stretchy. So I'm going to do another video later about what I'm using on my skin to prevent stretch marks. And I guess, like, you know, YouTube disclaimer, if you have stretch marks, I'm not like cussing or cursing or anything about the stretch marks. For me, I don't want any more. I've got them on my buttocks from when I was in puberty. I don't want any more. I'm trying to prevent them. Maybe work, maybe not work, but you know, that's just me. And so I'll do a video later about what I'm putting on my belly because the skin feels super tight all of a sudden. Weird other thing too is, so the indigestion kind of like started last week, and then this morning, oh my gosh, like bad heartburn. So really bad heartburn has started, which apparently is normal because, you know, the uterus and everything starts pressing on those organs more. So I've started to do that. Amazing news, guys. I can actually drink tap water again. In Australia, we can drink our tap water. In fact, they recommend drinking the tap water because it's got fluoride in there, which is good for your teeth and your bones. Has a little bit of chlorine in there, which kills off any bacterias and stuff like that. You know, it's perfectly safe and fine. It's definitely not like other parts of the world where you can't drink the tap water. But when I found out about week 6, I was completely turned off tap water. I have like a gravity filter that I normally use, which removes the chlorine and everything that I put in there, and it gravitates down. Couldn't even drink still water like for a while, either about a week or so. I'm thrilled. Now I can drink tap water. So I went this morning and I got myself a new water bottle because I was drinking bottled water, and I feel like if you know me and you know my channel, so not me. And I had piles of plastic bottles that I would take to the recycling machine, and each bottle, it would be 10 cents per bottle to recycle, and I would put that money, you can donate it to a charity. And initially there was wildlife ones in there, different wildlife organizations, and then there were some other ones in there too, like a mental health one and one for underprivileged children. And you just like, you know, 10 cents per bottle, but I was going through 3 bottles a day. So I was there like taking bags of plastic bottles up every week, and you know, each bit counts, right? So I did do my part, but I did still feel really, really guilty. Also, aluminium cans and glass bottles. And if you're in Sydney, guys, or in New South Wales, they're called the Tomra outlets. And I'll put some details down below about Tomra because they're return and earn, and they're in various stations all around the place in case you're interested. Another thing too is I started to just feel like super crying. Like I just, for no particular reason, I just felt like crying for you know, I guess it's just the hormones speaking, but that kind of happens sometimes. And we're not robots. Like if you want to cry, it's better to let it out than let it in. I had a bit of a moment on Monday. I was just like easily triggered by some stuff, and I had like a big cry moment, and then I suddenly felt fine again, and I'm feeling really good now. Like I feel amazing. Like I feel really happy and stuff. I ordered a journal. Like I wanted this actually in the first trimester, but I thought until I do this NIPT test and everything, then I didn't order it. So I ordered it. It's a journal and it's for baby, and it's everything from birth until like pregnancy. So from now until like 18 years old. So this is like a beautiful little keepsake book, and this is by Truly Anon, and I got this online from a store in Canberra, but they have various ones online too. And it comes in this beautiful little pouch. And so you can put photos in there and stuff, and journal and address it to the child and who started and everything. So this will be the journal until baby's 18 years old. And then when I was out this morning, when I also got my water bottle, I also got a gratitudes journal, because I haven't been meditating or doing my gratitudes since like I found out I was pregnant, because I had so much like, I don't know, I just got really slack. But it definitely does change how I feel in a person. So I got a new gratitudes journal, so I'm going to start being able to do all this, but I also have to start doing like this is a planned pregnancy, so it's not like out of the blue, and I know everything I need to do and everything's sorted and everything's sweet, and you know what I mean? Like it's a bit different to, you know, if you're like, oh no, this is a surprise, and you're like shocked out of the blue. This is planned. So basically I know everything that I need to do. Like I've got all my ducks in order. Is that the saying? All my ducks are in order. But I still need to write everything down, because everything that I want to buy, like everything I want to buy for the baby, I want this, because I'm like particular brand, this and that. So back to today's topic, so the NIPT test. So I told people I was pregnant at 12 weeks. And I did the NIPT at 9 weeks. You do it between, that's the earliest you can do it, is like 9-10 weeks. And if you're in overseas, I guess maybe it will be a lot faster, because you don't have the shipping time. In Australia, there's like shipping time. And there are like 3 different panels that you can get with this test. I got the full panel, like the full shebang of everything. So going back, like traditionally, I guess like people did just the nuchal translucency ultrasound with blood test. And that was pretty much for Down syndrome. And like you could tell on the fluid on the back of the fetus's thing, and also the blood test if it was high risk for Down syndrome or low risk for Down syndrome. Nowadays, I think it's been around about maybe 10 years or so. 2011, I believe this came out. I love this test. I absolutely love this test. It's also called a Harmony test and maybe a couple of other names, but the actual name, NIPT, is like non-invasive DNA screen for common fetal chromosomal abnormalities. Brilliant, best thing ever. But like if you do this, you don't really need to do the nuchal translucency ultrasound, but I did both just for reassurance, and plus I wanted the baby photos, you know, like this is the ultrasound, like I just wanted to see it. You know, I love getting scans done. I absolutely love getting scans done. In fact, I feel like going this week to the hospital and just getting a scan done, because I want a scan done, because I just love to see my baby. Okay, but anyway, so I ordered the full panel, which in Australian dollars cost me $650, I believe, Australian dollars. And I know that that might seem like, wow, oh my gosh, like so much money. And it is a lot of money. But you know what? What it does for you and the reassurance that it gives you and what you need to know is like well worth that cost. Like you can get the second panel down and it's like less, I think it's $400 and something. So a lot of people don't get the full panel with the health issues ones, I guess because it costs a lot more money, because mine was like $650. But for me, it was like a no-brainer. Like I don't even care what it costs, just do it. I want to know everything. I tell you, when I did this blood test, so I took 2 vials of blood, and when I found out I was pregnant, I really didn't care about what gender I was having. You know, I just wanted a healthy baby. And in my mind, all I wanted was a healthy baby, right? And after a couple of weeks went by, I changed my mind. And it wasn't that I cared what the gender was. I wanted to connect with the baby more. Instead of calling it he, she, because that's what it was. I was like he or she. And I was writing down names, like girls' names and boys' names. Clothes, like boys, girls, clothes. And it really just felt more non-personal, you know, like I wanted to know the gender for me. I wanted to be able to write down just one gender name, or just, you know, look at specific clothes and just connect with it and call it like a boy or a girl, like when you communicate with the child and things like that. I've changed my mind. When I do this test, I'm going to find out the gender. My obstetrician was like, yeah, it becomes more personal than like a human. It was really like not for the world to know or for anyone else to know, and it was just for me and the child. And so when I came time to do this test, the nurse said to me, she was like, oh, you know, something about the test. And then I said, yeah, I have to do it. And she was like, what? She said, as if, she said, are you cheating? As if to say, like, because people usually find out the gender when they do the 20-week scan, because you can see a penis in the scan by then. You know, the 12-week scan, they all have like this tail thing. So they all look like boys in the 12-week scan, but the 20-week scan, you can tell if it's going to be a girl or a boy. So are you cheating? You know, a lot of people get this done because they want to, oh, you know, I need to arrange the nursery in a certain way. I said, no, it's nothing to do with that. I go, as long as I have a healthy baby, I just want to be able to connect with the child and, you know, on a more interpersonal level than could, you know, he or she, or, you know, I just felt a bit distanced from it. I was wrong about what I was having though. So every time I've had a dream about my pregnancy, and this isn't just like when I was pregnant, like before I was pregnant, I had dreams about the gender that it is, right? Always had this was the gender in my dreams. But I saw a clairvoyant 2 years ago, and I know to say, clairvoyant, but the clairvoyant told me, you are gonna have this other, the other gender. I thought, okay. So the nurse that did my NIPT, she said to me, because I was talking to her about what food cravings I was having and blah, 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 blah. And she said, she goes, I'm going to take a guess right now, and I think you're going to have, and she said the same gender as what the clairvoyant had said. And I really just couldn't tell, like in the first trimester, like I kept like toing and froing and toing and froing. And the only girl that knew I was pregnant, actually there were two people that knew that I was pregnant. They both thought that I was having what I am having, right? For me, I kept chopping and changing. Like I couldn't, you know, my dreams were telling me one thing, some things were saying another thing, you know, other things saying one other thing. I really just didn't know, you know. And when I got called with the test results, I was so anxious, by the way, like waiting for this NIPT test results. I was so anxious, like you're waiting to find out, you know, if the, you know, the baby's healthy and chromosomally normal, and you just like, the first while I was completely okay, and then come to the end of it, I was like, oh my God, I'm like, really anxious about it. And mine was actually delayed by a couple of days as well, which made it even worse. I was like, why is it delayed? Why is it delayed? And I thought maybe it was delayed because of the US elections, you know, things just got like, you know, in the crossfire there and stuff, and oh my gosh. Anyway, then my obstetrician called me and he said, everything's really great, everything's fine, everything's so good. Like when he said, you know, everything is so normal and everything's fine, and I said, you know, can I get a copy of the report, because I'm going to need that for obviously my obstetrician and the hospital and whatever, and my records and stuff, that everything, you know, the records and everything. And also they wanted it when I did that nuchal translucency scan as well, which I did that the next day. And he said, yeah. And he said, do you still want to know the gender? And by this stage, like I was so fixated on a healthy baby and the chromosomes and making sure everything was fine that like I completely forgot about the gender by then. Like it wasn't even an issue. Like it wasn't like, it was a non-thing. I was like, oh yeah, I've completely forgot about that. And he goes, you still want to know? Because they want to just make sure, like, do you want to know because before I tell you, in case you change your mind, you don't want to know yet. Or, you know, some people have like, I don't know, had their family around and they want all the family to hear it together or something, right? I said, no, tell me. And then he told me the gender and I was just like, because it wasn't what I was expecting, because I had, you know, the nurse had said one thing, the clairvoyant had said nothing, even though my dreams had always said what it was. But I was like so happy when he said the gender. And anyway, that was that. You know, I know people that get this test done specifically to find out the gender, and by all means, if that's your thing, if you want to plan or whatever, go ahead and do it. But I guess like we all always do it for, you know, for different reasons. For me, it was just like reassurance for health reasons, because like that was for me more important than, you know, if I'm having a boy or a girl, right? But anyway, if everyone keeps asking me like, you know, what are you having? It's like one of the first things that people do, like when you say, you know, when they find out you're pregnant, do you know what you're having? It's like one of the first questions, and I will reveal it to you later, and it's actually going to be in the 3rd trimester that I will actually tell you what I am having. Sorry. I have slipped up to one person, and I've accidentally, they caught me off guard, and I was writing a text, and instead of saying baby, I wrote the gender, but I didn't realize that I'd done so until they pulled me up and they go, oh my gosh, you just told me what you're having. And I know this person has a really big mouth. This person couldn't keep a secret if they were paid. So I know that they have told some other close friends, for sure they have. But for everyone else, you can wait. And I'm not actually saying it to everyone else, you can wait. Sorry. So anyway, if you're ever thinking about doing this test done, I love it. I love this test for reassurance and peace of mind. I backed it up with the nipple translucency scan. Not that I had to, but also you just want to make sure everything's still going well on a scan as well. Everything's like the baby's the right size at the time and everything's looking good and everything. So I would definitely recommend it if you are thinking about getting it. As for cravings wise, guys, I'm eating very, very normally again. Drinking tap water again. I made some hot water with some lemon this morning. The heartburn, before I go down the Gaviscon route, I'm just like, hot water with lemon. I'm gonna do that first, which I did that this morning. That was amazing. Like hummus. I've started to also eat again two small tins of salmon per week. So you can have like 3 servings of those little small like tuna or salmons, 3 per week. So I'm starting on that. I've been holding it down completely fine. Into my veg, like I'm having like raw salad, like raw cucumber or tomato and that. Drinking lots of water still, a lot of dry food. I'm actually onto cocoa again now, so I can have like 1 cocoa a day, which is really low caffeine, and like hummus. Like, oh my gosh, guys, I could just eat tubs and tubs of hummus. Like, I've had to stop buying it because I don't want to get fat because it's quite calorie dense with the tahini in it. Or I just need to start making my own just out of straight chickpeas and lemon and stuff, which I probably will do now. I'm feeling a lot better is I'll just start making my own hummus. And I've got a bump now from last Saturday, people were noticing, which is like super cool. I'm like, I can't wait for my like big bump. From last week, I started to just feel like heavy in my stomach, like heavy, like I can feel weight in there. Mainly from last week, and today I went for a walk, like I feel heavy in my stomach, like I can feel like the weight is starting to go woo. So definitely I was like, come here. So I can't wait. So if you like this video and you want to stay updated with everything, please remember to give me the thumbs up if you like this video, the subscribe and the bell notification, and we'll see you next time.